Salutations, I'm still critiquing this is still Phoenotopia. When last we left off, we got our Heart Ruby count up to 11, Moonstone count up to 17, and all this jank, and also at least 305 rye. But if you're doing the early meat route, if you got the early meat in translucent, if you got the early meat in Misty Gorge, then you should have at least 335. But yeah, now that we have all the tools, we're missing one, but you'll find out later what it is. It's basically an improved iron hammer, I'll put it that way. So now that we have all the tools, let's get backtracking. We're going to start with Duri Forest, because there's an important item there called the Mikan fruit. And now you have the rocket boots, you can easily navigate up this tree here. Well, more easily than normal. But anyway, in here you find the Mikan fruit, which is an item needed for a Mikan fragrance, which is required for a Moonstone in Great Walls. Also, I kind of just beefed that. And you cannot get this unless you have some sort of explosive in order to blow up this rubble here. So that's why you wait until the backtrack to get it. And that's the only reason why you have to backtrack the Duri Forest. Avoid these frogs and these bats here. Grab a Mikan fruit. You can get the others for safety healing, but it's not absolutely required. And just leave the area. So you want to start with Atai in terms of backtracking, because again, the Mikan fragrance is required before backtracking through Great Walls. And you have to do some sort of delivery quest, so you have to go there, backtrack through there at least twice. And also a wooden baton for the Sunflower Road backtrack. You'll see later. So next, go to Atai City, enter this little building here, the prison. See this blue bandit here. He is to whom you want to give the Golem Hunter Volume 7 that you bought in Dea. And then next you want to enter this little secret entrance here, right to the right of the Silk Trader. And then you find a secret room in which you can hit the switch up here with, well, the best way is to use the Javelin climb in the melee. And then pull out a bomb here, place it in front of this box, climb up using the Javelin. That's the quickest way to get this little Heart Ruby here. And this room here is one of the reasons why the lamp is helpful. It's possible without the lamp, but it's difficult. Next you want to head into the potion shop. Talk to this woman and she talks about finding new ingredients. Otherwise she won't want the Mikan fruit. Exit and re-enter, and now you can give it to her. Exit and re-enter, and the Mikan fragrance will be in stock. Next you want to go to the shop and buy the wooden baton for Sunflower Road. Jump up here. If you do a full jump and throw the javelin, you should be able to easily climb up here and break the anchor crates and grab the Moonstone from the right one. Well, you just have to break the right one. The left one is kind of useless. So now you want to go to Mayor's Palace. You could start from the right or the left. I just go from the right to get it over with because it's a really long walk down to this little entrance here. And you see these two boxes on the left. The far left one contains a Moonstone. And what's on the left is this loner who's in love with Lisa, who was held captive here. You need a free inventory space here, so if you don't have one, you can just like discard the sushi bento, like eat it for no reason. So now you get a love letter, which is required for a little delivery quest that gives you a Heart Ruby. You go from Atai to Panselo and then back to Atai. You'll see. Next up, you want to enter the well, wherein we'll be getting a Moonstone, a Nebula Armlet, and another Heart Ruby. So to start with, you want to enter here, and there's a switch on the far right that you can access by jumping to the right and throwing a key spear. It should destroy the pots and blow up the rubble, and because of stamina regeneration, you want to fire the slingshot and hit that switch over there. There is a switch in here too, but we could skip that with a little pot head clip. You want to take one pot, push it all the way to the right, and take another pot, push it far enough so that, or push it to just the right distance that you can slip in between them, but also so that the pot head clip will work. Like if it's too far to the left, you'll fail. Like I have pictures of the exact distances for too far, too close in the written guide, if that helps. So yeah, if the pot head clip succeeds, you can just move on. But I would not do this without the Javelin, like, at all. So here is where I would normally use a jar of honey, so that I can do this easily. Just like do that little, throw the Javelin at the body of water and then hover up to it. And then you climb up here and you see these three pots. The middle contains a Moonstone. And then keep going right. Once you get to this point, pull out a bomb. While you wait for the bomb, you can use the key spear to destroy one layer of rubble. That's the quickest way to get in here. To start off, you see a red golem, and you have to wait for it to climb onto this little binary platform here. Like, sometimes it's quick like that, but sometimes it just stalls for a while. It's all random. So next up, you want to destroy all the golems here. Charge attacks are your friend. How in the heck? I don't see how I didn't avoid that. Anyway. Wow, I can't believe that. Depending on how the enemies cooperate, this can either be really easy or really annoying. Oh yeah, to explain the red golems. Like, you can make them fall, but you can't kill them. Like, if they fall down like that, they'll just eventually get back up. So you have to dunk them into the fire pit there. But thankfully the red golems don't spew acid, otherwise that would be a humongous pain. So once you're done that excruciating room, you can go to these boxes and reap your reward, the Nebula Armlet. So then just exit this little area. Now that you have the Nebula Armlet, you can fire off charge attacks twice as quickly, including the key spear as well. So climb up here. You don't have to disable this little laser tower here, you can just hover over it. Like, even if you don't have a stamina boost, or even if it doesn't linger. Well, even if it expires at that time. Enter this little cave entrance, and then this one here. There's nothing over here for... No, wait, there is. But this is not a useful room. You want to take the middle entrance here, and then take the down path. Just keep going right. And you'll see this little bit of artifice here. You enter here, you see that there are a bunch of tiny switches, and there's a little barricade here. And in that little wooden crate at the top right is a heart ruby. But the barricades are stationary. What do? Oh, look, there's a pressure plate. Stomp on it and the barricades alternate up and down, up and down. So the quickest way to do this little puzzle, place a bomb here, and then hit the other switches with melee attacks like that. Then you can break this crate using the key spear. Now the thing about this little heart ruby, even though it's in the intersection between Atai and Bandits Lair, it's considered a Bandits Lair heart ruby. So now that you have it, you want to exit this area. Now on the backtrack here, like after you beat the boss, the upward path is faster, but after this, in this particular backtrack, this way is slightly faster. I have timed it myself. Also, there are jets, if you can hear them. Just like hover over these switches and stuff. Climb out of here. Throw the key spear and blow up this rubble. And that's it for Bandits Lair, but we will be coming back to Atai later. Now on to Panselo. To start with, when you get to the dojo, you want to pull out a bomb. Like if you have 7 HP to spare, you can just like bomb jump up here and then go to the attic heart ruby. If you don't have 7 HP to spare, just like, or for whatever reason, it's like hard just to get damaged here. The alternative way is to climb up here and then hover over here and then hover this way and then this way. If you have a stamina boost though, you can just like hover straight from here to all the way over there. But yeah, the bomb jump method is just quicker. Either way. Well, actually, I think the stamina boosted hover is just about as quick, but you know, it requires a stamina boost, and like that's a waste of a stamina boosting item. Anyway, so here's Lisa. You want to deliver the love letter to her, and she responds with a letter of rejection. So now, go all the way to the right, and we're going to get some Moonstones. You see this wall here, you can actually roll into it. Now the point here is we're going to do a little pothead clip. What we want to do is, you see this middle box that I'm standing on right now. It has to be on your head, and then another box should be on top of that box, and then the third box should be just enough distance to where the ladder on the right will be the nearest available space for the pothead clip. Like, set these aside, throw the javelin. You should have just enough space to grab this box, put it on the javelin, and then grab another box. Like normally if you were to place it, like if you were to place it here, then you'd have to like, I can't do it, man. I can't even mess up. Like if you were to place the second one somewhere here, then you probably have to like reset the thing. Yeah, so that brings into question a probably obscure mechanic, because like it's not explained anywhere. So if you have a javelin, on screen and you're crouching and you press the C key, the on-screen javelin will disappear. But anyway, let's move on with the clip. So a safe way is to just like jump and hold right, and then the box will just fit itself in there. So if you push it too far, or you know you've pushed it too far right if you can't slip between this set of boxes without rolling. That's when you want to push it to the left. If it's too far left, the clip will be unsuccessful. And you can either restart it or just do it the intended way, which I'll show later. So once you have the clip set up, jump. You should get the Moonstone and be right near the ladder. From there, break these boxes here. One of them contains a Moonstone, and you also get 35 Rye in the process because there's a chest right there. And then just like get out of here. So yeah, that sort of navigation just like allows you to get both Moonstones in one visit and not have to do this jank. Just like throw a Javelin and then hover over there. Yeah, you just need the Javelin, not the rocket boots. So next stop is this slab, wherein you have to hit the switch with a slingshot, or you could actually throw a precise Javelin in melee, but I think that's kinda... it might be slower actually, I'm not sure. Next up, if you stand on this piggy bank and throw the Javelin at ground level, you can easily just like... well, if you stand on the piggy bank and throw the Javelin, you can easily grab this ladder here. And you want to hit this little switch in the attic, and then that opens a secret passage down here, wherein you find a Moonstone on top of a broken teleporter. Now next up, we have to dupe this little piggy bank here. Positionings are here, here, and here. So now you should have at least 365 Rye, 395 with early meat, and so just leave the area. And now we'll be going to Sunflower Road. There are actually Moonstones on one on each of the east and west sides of the screen, but we don't get it until we get the rocket boots, and because it's much easier that way. Like, you can just hover from this leaf over there instead of having to do this tedious jank over here with like climbing and bees and crap. Like you would normally want to fall from here or something. Yeah. But with the rocket boots, it's like 100 times easier. So in the inn, you want to start by going to the basement and giving this kid a wooden baton. And she gives you a heart ruby in return. I think it's a she, I'm not sure. So now, at this point in the game, you want 3 stamina boosting items at least. One for the second Atai backtrack, one for the Prince Tower backtrack, and one for Forgotten Forest, which I will explain later. So now we're on the west side, and for this Moonstone, you want to wait until the 4th spider, and then climb up to the nearest leaf. And if you do a little pixel hover here, you should be able to grab the Moonstone easily. For funsies, I'll show off the traditional method. Though I don't really remember it, I think you, like, climb up here. Yeah, seems about right. And then... actually, I really don't remember. Whatever, it doesn't matter. You can probably, like, find out for yourself. Or if you've already done it casually, you probably already know. So now we're moving on to the second backtrack through Atai City, wherein we're going to get a heart ruby, take care of a little loot dupe here, and also get a Moonstone. So to start with, you want to head all the way back to the Mayor's Palace, and then give this guy the rejection letter, and he gives you a heart ruby. I guess I won't be needing this anymore. So next up, climb up here, and this is where we'll be performing the loot dupe. If you tap right just a little bit, then you should be facing right and be able to throw a key spear. Because, like, ordinarily you'd be facing left, so you do have to press right either way. But, like, if you hold right too hard, then you'll fall off and it'll waste time and stuff. So yeah. You see these piggy banks here. Each of them contains 45 rye, and you also get a high quality silk, which you can sell here for 50. Push it all the way. Push the duo of piggy banks all the way here, and then positionings are, I think, here. Trying to find the more forward one than that. Here, that's the far right one. I'm trying to get the middle one. Here. And while the spoils are still lying out there, just like throw the other one. And you should end up with an amount like this. And now this is where I would use the next stamina boosting item. So you can hover all the way to the right and break this pot for a Moonstone. You don't necessarily need the pot, but you would have to like bomb jump to get it and get the Moonstone otherwise. I'll demonstrate that as a little aside. Oh, and also, you want to enter the shop and buy a gold bar. This can range anywhere from 50 to 150, and it's random. I think depending on the time, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, this time it was especially cheap. And then you give this woman the high quality silk and she'll give you 50 rye in return. So next up you want to visit Misty Gorge from the north side. And if you didn't get the translucent meat already, this is the time that you're gonna have to farm for it. So you step on that arch to alert the ghost wasps, climb all the way up to here, and spam the slingshot. And this is why you get the honey. I forgot there was a third round. This is why you get the honey, because like with a stamina boost you fire the slingshot rounds much faster. So this procedure might take a while because of randomness and crud. Hey, got one. Nice. It is required for 1% completion, like I said before. Well, not the meat itself, just like unlocking the mystery bento using the meat. So now just keep going left. First off, I'm going to show the normal way to get through here, and then also a little workaround. Like, that's faster if you do it right. Using a very timing-intensive trick known as Javelin bomb jumping, or at least that's what I call it. But I'm like the only runner of this game, so I come up with the names here. But hey, I'm open to alternative suggestions. Like the reason for the name Pothead Clipping is because it originated with pots, and I don't know, to some extent I wanted it to sound dank. Ugh. Get out of here. So, here is what you would do as an alternative to the traditional form of navigation that I just showed off earlier. Throw the javelin at maximum height and hover to the left so that the fish can bump you onto the javelin. And then you place a bomb, and right when the bomb explodes, you just quickly jump and throw the javelin. I screwed it up. Shoot. You get the point. I want to get up there with JBJ anyway, just like a little backup. Through this little trick here, you can actually get to Forgotten Forest without collecting a single Moonstone, but we won't be doing that because it's risky and slow. Anyway, you blow up this rubble and find a secret entrance. That's why you get up here in the first place. But yeah, Javelin bomb jumping is a very timing-intensive trick. Like, you gotta wait until the exact moment of the explosion. And here you get a Moonstone and an asteroid rock. If your inventory is full at this point, you're gonna have to, like, get rid of the old ration, which is kind of sad. But anyway, this is one of 2 asteroid rocks required for the final tool in the game, the Morning Star, which is the improved iron hammer I mentioned earlier. So just navigate this caterpillar-infested cave using platforming and javelin crud. That's not going to work. Kind of a tough navigation, I'll be honest. And then just, like, leave the area. Dang. Didn't expect him to just not jump out. Oh, jeez. Kind of forgot about that swarm. Even though I picked at it earlier, it's still kicking. Kind of weird how that works. But anyway, now that we're done with Misty Gorge, we will be backtracking through Adar's house. And the reason for that is because it contains a miscellaneous item known as Ancient Armor, which reduces the damage you take from every attack by 3. Not just every attack, like hazards as well. Like, pretty much any damage, basically. The reason why you don't collect any lower forms of armor is because the Ancient Armor is the only variety that adds 2% to your completion. Like, even if you were to downgrade, you would lose that 2%. It's weird that way. So, this little... You see that there's an artifact switch right up here, but you can actually get it from... Like, if you throw a javelin up here and then shine the artifact on there, because you can't get it at, like, ground level. You have to use the javelin. And then you can shine it on there off screen. So here you encounter a set of turrets that you can't avoid. Just, like, shine the artifact on them to disable them, and then just break them down using the iron hammer. Now here, this is probably one of the most annoying. This is another one of the most annoying parts of the run, along with the Nebula Armlet area. There are these cannons you see. You can pick at the grounded ones using key spear throws, but like the ceiling ones are kind of hard to deal with. Yeah. Alright. Still got the burpees. Okay. For these grounded turrets, you can just go in dry. Yeah. I don't like this cannon rhythm right now. I keep calling them cannons. They're freaking turrets. There's a difference. Ooh, I don't have any further safety heals. I'm gonna have to be careful. Four HP, man. That's how much I survived with. Oh well, thankfully we'll be getting a heart ruby very shortly. You'll find out. So for this little switch puzzle here, you want to hit the left 3 switches. But if you hit any of the switches at the same time, then it'll muck up the puzzle, so don't do that. Now after that, you hit the switch that's hanging upside down, and a rolling bomb will go and hit that little switch over there. As to the reason why it mucks up the puzzle, I have no freaking clue. It just happens that way. So now we finally get the Ancient Armor, which again reduces the damage of everything. Reduces damage taken by Gale. And the jets are doing things again. So that's all you need from Adar's house so you can exit the area. So now we're going to Fran's lab, which is right up here. And this is the reason why we free Fran from Misty Gorge, because... Not Misty Gorge, Atai Bridge. Because if you haven't already, then she won't be standing on this table. But if she is standing on this table, as should be the case, you can talk to her. She'll give you 4 text boxes and also 150 rye. That is a boatload. And then you enter this area, and she'll be up here. And if you talk to her again, then she'll acknowledge that you have 10 Moonstones and you get a bag attachment. Oh yeah, it's about Moonstone milestones. Like, she only gives you the rye if you have collected 5 Moonstones, and she only gives you the inventory extension if you have 10 Moonstones. So then exit and re-enter, and you can talk to her again to receive a Heart Ruby if you have 15 Moonstones. That's the Heart Ruby I mentioned earlier. Because, like, if you try to talk to her again without exiting and re-entering, she'll just, like, tell you to go get more Moonstones, even though you have more Moonstones. So if you have 20 Moonstones, you get 5 text boxes and 150 more rye. Sheesh. And then you talk to her with 25 Moonstones, and you get the second asteroid rock. That's all we have, so we'll just leave the area for now. We will backtrack here later. For the reason of, if you have 30 Moonstones and talk to Fran, then she'll say, well, I've got a surprise for you. Come over to the, I don't know, something to that effect. But like deep inside her lab, there will be a teleporter that leads to Forgotten Forest. Or if you've visited Hidden Village, it will lead to Hidden Village. But like, that's not the case here. Anyway, so now we're in Dia, and that is where I will end this part. Now we should have a Heart Ruby count of 17, Moonstone count of 28, 2 Asteroid Rocks, Translucent Meat, Gold Bar, Mikan Fragrance, 2 Stamina boosting items, Nebula Armlet, and Ancient Armor. Whew, that's a lot. Next part, we're going to finish backtracking, and then after that, we'll complete the game, I guess. À la prochaine.